Highways, long stretches of road where the only certainty is uncertainty, but sometimes what lurks in the shadows is far darker than you could ever imagine. Back in my early 20s, I lived in New Hampshire, about 30 minutes outside Manchester. I was in a transitional phase after breaking up with my girlfriend of 2 years, unsure of what direction life was pulling me in. During this time, I began attending church with my grandmother, partly to support her after my grandfather's passing, and partly because I felt I needed something solid to ground me. One Sunday, I met someone who changed everything. A girl named Kaylee, who I'd never seen at church before, instantly caught my attention. She was captivating, with curly dark hair and striking hazel eyes. We struck up a conversation, and the connection was immediate. After a week of texting and social media exchanges, I asked her out. The night of our first date started perfectly: dinner, a movie, and a drive along a quiet highway. That was until something unexplainable happened. Kaylee began muttering in what sounded like a foreign language, her eyes rolling back into her head. Terrified, I pulled over, unsure if she was having a seizure or something else entirely. And then it stopped. She snapped out of it, bolted out of the car, and ran into the woods, disappearing into the night. Despite reporting the incident, she vanished without a trace. Her number disconnected, her social media gone, and no one in the community remembering her at all. It was a summer evening in Nevada when my old, unreliable car became my temporary prison during an unexpected thunderstorm. The windshield wipers didn't work, so I pulled off the highway into the desert to wait it out. As the hours dragged on, an unsettling feeling began to creep in. When I spotted lights in the distance, I initially thought it was help, but as the lights drew closer, I realized they were flashlights held by 3 figures moving erratically around my car. One of them fired a gun into the air, shattering the tense silence. Hiding behind a rock formation, I called 911, whispering for help as I watched the strangers circle my car like predators. When the police arrived, the figures disappeared into the darkness, leaving me shaken and questioning what might have happened if I hadn't trusted my instincts to hide. While driving back from a trip with my friend Carol, we stopped at a small, rundown town for gas and snacks. Something about the place felt off. It wasn't abandoned, but it felt like it should have been. At a convenience store, I paid for my drink and noticed the cashier, a tall woman with dark brown hair and suspenders. Nothing seemed unusual until we visited a second store across the street. To my shock, the cashier looked identical to the one from the first store. Same face, same voice, same everything. When I asked her about it, she denied having a twin or sibling and looked at me like I was the strange one. The eeriness of it all stayed with me, and we quickly left the town, unable to shake the feeling that we'd stumbled into something we weren't supposed to. Roads connect us, but they also conceal the unknown. These stories remind us of the terrifying truths that lie just beneath the surface. So the next time you're on a quiet highway, be cautious, because the road ahead might hold more than just miles.